about him. If that's just allegedly probably. He probably didn't really kill 90 people. Little psycho motherfucker. Oh God, let's matter of fact, no, this is what we gonna do. This is what we gonna do. Teams react to prison.
Shondell.
You know the feeling. Those moments when your life changes forever. If you lost or need to update your
Shout
health
out to the
insurance because
chat,
of a
my boy.
recent life change, check your eligibility at healthcare.gov. Because
Shout out
worrying
to
about
the
health
chat
care
on
shouldn't
bro.
hold you back as you keep moving forward.
You can't blame yourself.
This probably, I think this actually probably the most successful stream that we had so far on this journey.
Shondell shot him.
Oh
and
God,
killed
they
him.
did.
My son is not a monster. He is not a monster.
He smiled as his sentencing was read aloud.
You'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die there.
What is going on? Why are these people like this?
And Khalil repeatedly hit him in the head. The following stories tell the
Yes,
tale
sir.
of 3 young teenage killers
18 days
who had
in, boy.
crazy reactions
But today would be
to getting
19th
life
day.
sentences.
Shondell Jackson.
Shondell Jackson was born in February of 1991. His life took a turn for the worst.
Y'all
on
can hear
July
this good, right?
6th
Y'all
of
can hear everything good, right?
2009. He was walking through the campus of University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee alongside a friend of his, 20-year-old Derek Thomas.
For sure, bet.
They came across a student who was walking to his River West apartment, which is located no more than a mile away from campus. This student was 21-year-old Nathan Potter, who was a senior at the university at the time. Nathan was talented and creative. He was well loved by friends and family, and he had his whole life ahead of him. All of that would change forever when he came across Shondell and Derek. These 2 men planned to rob Nathan. They held him at gunpoint and demanded that he hand over all of his money. But when he insisted that he had none, Shondell shot him and killed him. Both men would later pay for this cowardly and heartless act. He was arrested and his case went to trial. Throughout the entire trial, he showed absolutely no remorse for what he did or sympathy towards Nathan's heartbroken family.
wrong with
At
bro?
times, he could reportedly even be seen smirking and gesturing towards them. Once, he even smiled at them.
It's crazy.
Nathan's mother, Denise, acknowledged how evil her son's killer was while speaking to the judge.
We see how evil Shondell is in court, looking at us, swearing at us, and smiling.
Oh, God,
Nathan's
if I was
father,
that too.
James Potter, addressed the court as he gave a victim impact statement.
Judge, there is nothing that can be said to bring back our Nathan. But your sentence can ensure that Shondell does not have the opportunity as a free man to inflict pain like this again. Is there such thing as pure evil? We think so.
He was found guilty of first-degree homicide and robbery. His sentencing occurred while he was just 19 years old.
What is he doing? I
The
would have
judge
stole off him,
presiding
bro.
over
Just
the
being
case
mad. I don't even care if I was his
believed
dad.
that should Shondell ever be
Still off
released,
him, bro.
he
Just
would be a
you
public
have to send me to
menace,
jail.
quick to kill again.
Cause what are you doing?
Not of caring of human
I
life
don't think he's somebody.
and
I
the
don't
need
know.
to protect the community, which I also fear for with Mr. Jackson
I would have went right across bro jaw.
being out in the community. I am going to go ahead on count 1, the first degree intentional homicide conviction, and I am going to sentence Mr. Jackson to
wanna be a
life
thug?
imprisonment without possibility for extended
Yeah, he gonna be
supervision.
a thug in prison, alright.
It was then that Shondell quickly
When they
looked
get
over
that
his
butt.
shoulder, presumably to glare at his victim's family. A female officer grabs his head and tries to force him to look forward at the judge, but he struggles against her, a look of pure hatred on his face. Sobbing can be heard in the background, and it's unclear whether the person sobbing is from Shondell's.
Okay, so if you a part of his family, right, and you like listening, I wonder how like his mom and stuff is feeling about this. Cause I feel like, bro, if that's my son, like I'm just not gonna show up. Like, just throw him away. Just throw him away. You feel me? Like, just throw bro away. That's not my product anymore. Feel me? I don't got nothing to do with him. I'm not visiting him. They can do whatever they want to do with him in prison. It's just nothing. It's nothing you can do about it.
Or Nathan's. While this is all going on, Nathan's parents and little sister hold
Give
on
him
to
the
each
harshest
other,
sentence.
tears streaming down their faces silently. Meanwhile, the judge tries to continue with her sentencing.
I know that is
and it's
something
sad
that's
to see
reserved-
stuff like this because this is the type of stuff that causes so much racial tension. You feel me? And this stuff that like traumatize people and make people think a certain way. You feel me? So
for the most serious of cases, and I believe that this case rises to that level.
The female officer begins to struggle to try to keep Shondell from looking at the victim's family, and eventually a male
Snap his
officer
neck
has
right
to come
there.
over to assist her while the sobbing in the courtroom continues to intensify. Someone can be heard moaning in the background, likely one of Shondell's
God.
family members.
that's all it takes.
While the officers struggle to regain control over the courtroom, someone not in view screams no at the top of their lungs. This seems to be all it takes to finally set Shondell over the edge.
What is wrong with bro?
He stands up and begins fighting against the two officers. A lawyer dressed in a suit and tie has to come over to
What is
try to help
wrong
them.
with bro?
Now playing Michael Jordan? Yeah.
Telling you,
Hell, you gonna get Michael.
he not gonna be that tough. He not that tough in prison. He gonna try to be that tough in prison. He gonna try to be.
Air Jordan.
All it takes for 5 big dudes to come around you,
Fight oil change
Yo.
society. I never needed to
you gonna be mine. I gotta understand how he was raised. I
Shondell is
gotta
fighting
understand
hard,
the backstory of this
so
villain.
much so
The
that
vision-
the wooden
the
table
villain
in
origin
front of
story, I
him
gotta
is
know
pushed
it.
away. With the help of other officers and reportedly the use of pepper
And
spray.
as parents, if you know that it's your fault, the reason why he's like this, you feel me? If that, like, I don't know how you should think of yourself. Like, you shouldn't even. If you interview parents on how fuck these kids raised, we can figure out what not to do. Exactly, 100%. I just seen earlier that a woman killed her 5-month-old baby. I said 5-month-old, Lord, 5-month-old baby, because the father left her, so she beat the baby to death. Either it was 2 months or 5 months. Why do he think he getting out of this? Yeah, I don't know why he thinking
They
that.
managed to get Shondell down to the ground. There's a lot of crying in the background while all this is going on, and you can even hear Shondell's own family
Oh, God,
offering
bro.
words of
God.
encouragement and support. Eventually, the officers manage to get Shondell under control and bring him back up to his feet. He is then quickly handcuffed and ushered out of the courtroom.
Yeah, just
He
send him.
continues to fight
Send
them,
him to the gulag.
and at one point, an officer has to grab the back of his head
You
to
got
keep
to.
him under control. Just before he is taken out of the door, you can hear a woman wailing in the background, likely Shondell's mom.
That's his mother. Why you
Another
crying?
one of Shondell's family members screamed at Nathan's family.
The mama telling the victim family, "I hate y'all. I hate y'all." I didn't expect that at all. I hate y'all. I hate y'all. What the fuck they do to you? What they do to you? That is crazy. That's some crazy shit right there, boy. That's some crazy
as
stuff
she was
right there.
pulled out of the courtroom. It was as if she believed Shondell's sentencing was their fault. Nathan's emotional mother was interviewed after the sentencing. She explained how terrified Nathan's young sister was to go into the courtroom that day and be around Shondell.
Our little girl was afraid. She was afraid that he was going to try and kill one of us. She was afraid.
Especially when they were yelling threats. She's like, how can I sleep now? What is going
exactly.
on?
That's kind of a
like
weird
this?
experience for you.
You know, I hope it, as he spends the rest of his life in jail, that he comes to terms with it and does value human life, and that there is some redemption for him.
That's not something that you
point.
want your.
But that's totally up to him. And for his family to say to us, "We hate you." What's that all about?
Especially letting them see, like, your brother kill a face to face. That's kind of like, that's not an experience that you want your little daughter to have.
Meanwhile, Derek, Shondell's accomplice, pleaded guilty for his involvement. He was sentenced to
that can
only
cause all
12
type
years
of mental
in prison.
problems.
The insane reaction quickly went viral online as many news organizations covered it. One reporter that was present noted how quickly the officers responded to Shondell's outburst.
Good with y'all boys, man.
Nick Bohr is live at the courthouse with new information. Nick, deputies reacted quickly to that outburst.
Right, Kathy, almost as if they anticipated it, which they did because of the convicted killer's actions last February during his trial.
Despite everything Shondell did, there are still people out there that believe Shondell's sentence was too harsh and that he deserves a second chance due to his young age.
When I saw it on the news,
Shit don't make sense at all.
I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine what that mother is going through. I never had a clue that my child had anything to do with it. My son is not a monster. He is not a monster.
For now, he remains behind bars where he will likely stay for the rest of his life.
Hold on, who's she talking about? I didn't even see. Data, right?
Jordan Klee was a well-loved
she talking about
football player
Damn.
from Ann Arbor,
She
Michigan.
said he's not a monster.
He had his whole life ahead of him. When he was found dead in October of 2016, the entire community was rocked. It had been the very first homicide of the entire year, and nobody could understand who would have done something like this to an innocent young man. He was supposed to be in class that day at his school, Pioneer High School, but instead, he had been shot dead. His killer was a teenager named Danta Wright. He and two other men had tried to rob Jordan at gunpoint. The robbery ended with Jordan's death. The community was desperate for answers, and answers they finally got from Danta himself.
The victim in this case loved playing football here at Pioneer High School, but his death back in October 2016 sent shockwaves through this student body and the community. It was the first homicide in Ann Arbor in 2016, and today we learned what happened as his admitted killer came forward.
Danta Wright was supposed to have had a pre-trial hearing for the case. Instead, he admitted that he and two of his friends were trying to rob Jordan at gunpoint. Danta answered the lawyer's questions calmly and directly.
And who are you going to rob?
Jordan Klee.
Jordan's heartbroken mother was in court, wiping away tears while she sat a short distance away from her son's killer. She had no choice but to listen as she learned for the very first time what happened to her beloved child.
And as a result of that armed robbery, what did you do with that gun in Mr. Jordan Klee?
Shot him.
Where did you shoot him?
In the top by his head.
And did you kill him with that shot?
Yes.
Jordan died at an apartment complex not far from his home. His body was discovered by a maintenance worker. It's hard to understand why it was Jordan who was targeted, but Jordan's mom at least had the satisfaction of knowing who did this to her child. Throughout all the legal proceedings he went through, Danta never seemed to be truly sorry. He didn't even seem to be daunted by the fact that he knew that because of what he confessed, he would likely spend much of his life behind bars. He didn't even try to be respectful in hopes of maybe
So
getting the
hold on,
judge to go easy
so
on
hold on, I
him.
didn't hear it. So this dude right here, a grown man. He a grown man. I thought he was like a teen too. This dude right here, a grown man, or what? Or was he just younger? Or what was the dude that? Oh,
In fact, he smiled as his sentencing was read aloud. It's safe to say that the judge presiding over
Damn.
the case noticed his disrespectful behavior and took the necessary steps to teach him a lesson.
Well, Stephen, it's a case of a murdered Ann Arbor teen, and it was quite a shakeup in court today. The judge asked the prosecutor to throw out the sentence agreement and take this case to trial. There was a long recess as everything was put on pause because of this 17-year-old's behavior.
At Wawa, when
L
the
ad
hunger
again.
hits, everyone wins because dinner should be an easy decision.
L
Wawa
ad
has your
again.
cravings covered.
While
Ew,
being
ad.
sentenced for murder, Donta Wright had nothing but a joyful and happy smile on his face as Jordan's mother read her victim impact statement and expressed the pain she felt over the loss of her son, tears running down her face as she tried her best to be strong. Jordan's mother, Karen Klee, was too emotional to read her victim impact statement in court, so she had Courtney Klee do it for her. Courtney tried to remain as strong and stoic as she could.
I've lost laughter and love. I no longer have the hope of having grandchildren. I've lost the enjoyment of holidays and birthdays and of everyday life.
All the while that this statement is being read, Karen wipes away tears while Donta appears unapologetic. When Donta finally gets a chance to address the court and the victim's family, he offers no apology or remorse.
I just want to tell y'all, I'll be home soon. R.I.P. Keon. I love my family.
He be home soon.
Yes.
The judge presiding
Bro
over
said,
the
"I'll be home
case
soon."
was completely fed up.
Did he really think that?
Watching you sit there, smile, and laugh, and shake your head like this
Did
was
bro
no
really
big
think he'll be
deal.
home soon?
I'm very tempted to just say I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial, and if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to
Did bro
prison for the
really
rest of
think
your
he'll
life.
be
That
home
means
soon?
you'll die there.
As you can see here in this picture, Jordan and his mother were very close and had a very good relationship. It must have been absolute torture for her to realize that not only had her baby been taken from her, but his killer was completely unapologetic.
On the nights I managed to sleep, I wake up hearing my son scream for me, only to realize all over again, night after night, that my son is dead, gone, taken, for what? Why?
Who these other dudes
You
right here, the
answer
other
that
black dudes?
question, why? Why? I have an answer. Your answer will never be good enough. There will never be an answer good enough to satisfy.
Oh,
why
that's
you were
right,
involved
that's right.
in the shooting of my son. Why you thought that he should be, why what you thought he had should be yours.
It
Why
was
you
3 of
felt
them. I
that
forgot
what
about that.
you wanted
Appreciate the
was
follow,
entitled
my
to.
boy.
Why you thought
Yo, hold on. I appreciate the follow. Hold on, we gotta stop the handle with the dash. Appreciate the follow, boy. We stream every single day. You feel me? We stream every single day for 30 days. We're on day 18 right now. We just started grinding. You feel me? Appreciate you for coming, hopping in. You feel me, for the follow. I should put my alerts up, but sometimes alerts be annoying, especially when they pop up on the stream when you doing stuff. But I appreciate the follow, my boy. We just watching videos right now. You feel me? Just
death was an
kicking it
acceptable
back.
response to your jealousy or desire to have what he had. Clothes, money, jewelry, phones,
Yes,
shoes,
sir.
whatever it was you felt you needed more than his life.
Appreciate you, my
Your
boy.
life will never be
We
better
watching
than
like
his
murder
life.
videos right
Your
now and
life
stuff.
will never trump my son's death. You get to live. You get to wake up every day. Your life continues.
See, you
My
see that dude right there? He
sincere
got a
hope
smirk on his
that
face. For
whatever
what?
it was you wanted so
Now this
badly,
dude right here with the afro, he kind of look a little bit sorry. If you pay attention to the face expressions, he kind of look like he got a little bit remorse to him. You feel me? He looking like, damn, like, you feel me? Like, all that wasn't even worth it. And see, what's gonna happen is he gonna be the one that's get to prison and you know, try to hide, and he ain't gonna be really on that, you feel me? But these other dudes, they gonna get it handed to them because they gonna try to be the tough dudes in prison, and then they gonna get their butt took, and then they gonna end up being somebody, you feel me? Now, I mean, these dudes might be tough, you feel me? I don't know who these dudes is. They might can hold it down, but nah.
You felt the need to murder my son was worth the next years of your continued existence.
As more information came out about who Jordan was, this case became all the more disturbing.
Hold on.
This year was supposed to be a year of celebration, of senior pictures with prom and graduation and parties. Instead, it was a nightmare that no parent should ever endure.
Wanting to put this whole awful ordeal behind them, Jordan's family opted not to go forward with a trial and instead stick with the original sentencing.
The Lee family does want to move on with this. They want to get some closure from this case. They want to try and forgive this defendant and all of his actions.
So because
And they
for
still
the
want to
first
try
time in
to
my
forgive
life,
him.
I feel
That's
hate in
crazy.
my
Send him
heart.
to the gulag, you feel me?
Here's what I hope. I hope every time you want for a jacket, you stay cold. I hope every time you want for shoes, you get a hole in yours. I hope every time you want a meal, you go hungry.
God, bro.
I hope every time you want a bed, you have a sleepless night. I hope that every time you wish for your mother, she doesn't come to visit. But more than anything, because I'm nothing like you, I don't wish or hope any of that.
Look at this dude right here
simply
just
wish you go to
staring
prison
right there.
for the max amount of time your plea agreement allows, that you become something more than what you were taught to be in your miserable life, and because
I
it's
don't know.
obvious
That
to
dude with the afro, he looked like he was just kind of like dragged into it. He was like just with the wrong group of friends and thought that he was tough at the time and had to do what I don't know. I can't tell if he looked like he remorseful. Or I can't tell, you feel me, like, or like he got a little smirk on his face. But this dude right here on the right, he definitely don't care.
and everyone here that you need help. Your actions have led you to a prison cell, but you have also created
The
an
mom
empty
can't even
cell
talk.
that I live in every day.
She been crying the whole
Dante's
time.
attorney apologized for him in court.
His smiling was in no way meant as
Exactly,
disrespectful
bro.
either to the family, to the victim, or to this court.
They know they wasn't.
Dante was sentenced
They
to
know they
23 to 50 years in prison for armed robbery and second-degree murder. Do you think that this is harsh enough?
No.
Let us know in the comments.
No, it's not. And it's really all about how they act in prison too. If he did this and killed an innocent boy, right, and then getting in the court and is laughing and smiling and don't care, talking about he gonna be home soon, he love his family, don't give no sorrow, don't, you feel me, bro? Just send him there for life. Just send him there for life. He don't care. He don't realize the consequences. Send him to life. Simple as that. No 23 years. What? Scariest thing in the world is a motherfucker with nothing to lose. Hey, bro, when they got nothing to lose, and that's what I always tell people, bro. Like, even when people, you know how like people think that somebody's soft, and so you press them to, oh, you not about this, you not that. That motherfucker gonna do everything he can to prove you wrong. Oh, you a wanna be this. These the motherfuckers that you should be scared of. They out here trying to make a name, and you calling them a wannabe. That's just gonna press them to, okay, calling me a wannabe. I'm gonna do everything in my power to show you that that's what I really am. These are the motherfuckers that you should be scared of. The ones that already got a name and already established in the streets. They already known for what they do, so they not gonna. You feel me? You feel me? They the ones that you probably can chill on, like, cause they already know that they like that. So, but it's dudes that you calling a wannabe and you ain't really this, and stop trying to be like that. Y'all old heads don't even realize that y'all pushing these young guys to really actually come out here and do that type of stuff. You not like that. You feel me? Bro, that just motivate them to really be like that.
Guess who just found
It just
another way to
motivate
save
them. It's
more money
motivation.
by switching to Food Lion private brand. And they have so
Boy,
many
you
affordable items.
soft.
Fajita nachos coming up, and my family loves it. That's
Mhm.
all I need to hear.
Yup.
Break the Loop by Breath of Stress.
So it go the same way with a person that got nothing to lose and with a person that's still trying to make a name for themselves. Those the dudes that you need to be scared of the most.
This is the story of 17-year-old Frenecha Torres. Frenecha, along with 17-year-old Nicholas Evans and 18-year-old Khalil Miller, took the life of a 21-year-old man named William Tunches.
Next thing you know, they crying in the cell, wishing that they never, wishing that
She
it would just never
promised
went
him
that far.
intercourse. Nicholas and Khalil knew that William had a crush on Frenecha, and they decided to take advantage of it. They told him that Frenecha agreed to sleep with him if he paid them $300 and came to a wooded area in an Atlanta subdivision.
Please
He
don't tell me they
agreed.
killed a girl there.
When William arrived,
they set him up. They
decided
set him
upon
up.
location, Nicholas pointed a gun
I
at him,
understand
and
the situation
Khalil
now.
hit him over the head with a stick. There was a struggle as William tried to get a hold of the gun, and Khalil repeatedly hit him in the head. During the tussle, the gun went off and hit William. The three teens took any valuables that William had and then fled the scene.
He looked like a young
Khalil
Jada
later
Youngin.
checked to make
No,
sure
never
that
mind,
William was dead. William's body would be discovered the next day. At first, police had no idea who William was, nor did they know who had done this to him and why.
There is no identification on the body, as we will go through our missing persons reports and see if there's any match to any missing persons reports and this possible victim.
Police were eventually able to identify William and piece together what had happened. All three teens had been spotted at the scene of the crime, and all three teens were arrested. Both Khalil and Nicholas admitted what they did and were charged with felony murder, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. Frenecha remained silent. Because Frenecha hadn't technically physically harmed William, she probably believed that her charges would be less severe than the other two teens. You could see her shock clearly when her charges were read aloud in court.
You have 3 warrants for armed robbery and 1 warrant for felony murder.
Francesca's eyes were wide,
Look at you.
and she
Look
shook
at
her
her.
head in confusion
Look
and
at
shock.
you.
Khalil also seemed confused by his second armed robbery charge, while Nicholas simply stayed stoic and expressionless. A beautiful service was held in William's memory by his church family.
Sometimes young people are in the wrong place at the wrong time and with the wrong people.
Said William's minister, Roque Barrios.
Investigators say they're not sure how Tunches and the 3 teens made their connection. Tunches had no connection, I'm told, to the neighborhood where he was shot and killed. But jail records show suspect Nicholas Evans lived just down the street.
And all 3 were identified as being at the scene.
Not thinking.
Frenecha, Nicholas, and Khalil didn't just go down for William's murder. They were identified as being a part of other recent robberies in the neighborhood too, including one that happened just 5 days before William's death.
And this happened to people every day, bro.
It's safe to say that they were all looking
the
at
easiest way to set up a dude is to get a
bit
girl
of
involved.
jail
That's the
time,
easiest way to set
with
up
Khalil
a
in the worst position, since he was legally an adult. The 3 teens were held at the local jail without bond. One of the craziest parts about this case is that it took place back in 2018, and the case has not been discussed in a public sense. There must be a lot of details going on behind the scenes to explain why, after all this time, these individuals have not yet gone to trial after so much time has passed. But they are all facing serious charges that could land them in prison.
I heard a lot of people talking about dating apps, but I never actually been on one. I've never been on a dating app in my life. I'm pretty sure they fun though. I'm pretty sure they fun because back when I used to work at Target, that's all they used to talk about, like Tinder and stuff like that. I've never been on one though.
For the rest of their lives.
For those teenagers, because they are kids. We lost a kid, but there are
I bet y'all be meeting
over
some
there.
crazy people though.
They have to suffer with the consequence of what they done.
What sentence do you believe is fair in this
I
case?
bet, bro.
Let
I
us
bet.
know in the comment.
I remember this years ago. I remember this. I forgot what that dude did, but he got stabbed up in his back about 20 times, and they raped him. They raped him so bad that he couldn't control his bowel movement. And so all that blood that you see from his butt and stuff, like that's from him being raped repeatedly, just over and over again, and he couldn't even control his bowel movement. So that's shit and blood right there. That dude right there. Yup. He got stabbed in the back of his neck. He got stabbed all through his back. I remember that story too. That's crazy because this is my first time seeing this picture again since like years ago when I heard this story. How anyone can get their shit up to something like that. And that's funny that you said that, because me and Trey was just talking about that yesterday. We watched this dude on YouTube called G, and he tell his prison stories. And basically he just tells stories about all the crazy stuff that happened while he was in prison, and all the rapings and stuff like that. And my questions is like, how and people get raped for like an hour straight in jail, just get passed on. Like I watched this interview of this white dude talking about, as soon as he got to the jail, he got passed throughout everybody in the cell block. So they were just passing him down through the whole cell, and he got raped. He said he got raped by 85 people in that one day. He said they started raping him at raping him at 7 in the morning, and he didn't get finished getting raped until about 4 in the afternoon. 7 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon